Okay, so we're actually going to record this session as well today. So in other words, this is a way that you can add the shortcut to iciworld.mobi as a shortcut to your phone. And then what they're going to see is when they get to your phone, what they'll actually see will be your website address. And I'm just going to take an example of a website that is a mobile website, and I'm going to make it into the size. Hang on one second here. Let me just make some of this other screen smaller here. Hang on one second. Close that. Okay, actually I will exit. Hang on one second. Okay, this is an example of a mobile website. Everybody can see that okay?
Yeah.
Okay, and you'll notice the little hamburger button up here. So in other words, as a full website, this is what it looks like. Okay? And by the way, we supply these websites for $16.50, just so that you know.
Mm-hmm.
They're free. They're free for 1 month, and then after 1 month, they're $16.50. Okay? Just so that you can see them. Now, the beautiful part about it is when people want to search, we recommend you have a residential button and a commercial button here. Now, does everyone already have a website?
Yes.
Okay, so we're recommending that we can supply your website with some special buttons up here. These commercial buttons, you can add these to your website. So if somebody theoretically comes to your existing website, the one that you have now, they can see this information on the screen. And if they want to search for apartment buildings, they can click on it, and all of a sudden, all these apartment buildings come up on your screen. There's over 400 apartment buildings here. 75 to 90% of these are not on real estate boards. So in other words, if somebody sees one of these apartment buildings, then even a little triplex, for instance, right here for 2.9 million, they're going to try to click on that number. And these widgets listings are coming from ICI World, which means that they cannot click on these listings because that's the way we have structured them on your behalf, which means that they have to call you for more information on any one of these listings. You tell me if that isn't fantastic.
Perfect.
How old are these listings? Because I do know I get some calls for very old listings.
That's a good question, and I'm going to demonstrate what the concept is for listings, and I'm going to do that right now, and I'm going to show you by showing the mobile site that I have supplied you. By the way, we also have an app, so if you want to write it down, you can also install the app on your mobile devices.
Yeah, I have that installed. Yeah.
Okay, good show. And now I'm going to go to the commercial one for the sake of argument. And you're going to see this form come up. So what I'm saying is it takes only 3 seconds to search something. One, to click on iciworld.mobi on as an icon on your phone. The second one, they click on commercial. So 2 seconds, we get to this screen. And if I want to, I can click on search database. And literally within 3 seconds, I have all the latest haves and wants commercial coming up on the screen. Now I'm going to go back once, and I'm going to go to a special field in order to answer the question that was asked, how old are the listings? Well, we're going to demonstrate here that we actually do not delete listings for 5 years. What we do is we give you and all the public a choice to search the listings as far back as you wish. And the reason is we make the listings active. In other words, people can see the active listings, but sometimes brokers don't mark them sold. So there is a responsibility on each of your part to keep your listings less than 90 days old, or for 2 reasons: to keep them up to date, so that they're going to be active and in these mobile apps. And you'll notice that the default setting is 3 months. In other words, if you have listings more than 3 months old, they're actually not going to show up on all our mobile apps worldwide. And so there's a responsibility on the part of the whole industry to keep their information up to date. However, as you and I know, some people don't do that as good as they should. So what we do is we give an option for you to search listings further back. So if I was to only search commercial listings for 3 months and then do a search down at the bottom here, you'll see there's 844 of them that are less than 90 days old. Isn't that nice, Michael, the way you can just search the latest listings?
Yes.
Okay, and a lot of people don't know that yet, but these tools are going to become to be known more and more and more as the industry goes on. They're going to learn how to search these things. And I can tell you now, there's thousands of people already know this stuff. And it comes in handy because there's properties coming for sale too. Now, if I was to search back to 1 year, you'll see that when we search it, there's up to 1,900. There's almost more than double that are available, if you can see that. Now, the question becomes, why would someone search listings that are more than 3 months old? And the reason is that they are contacts for certain types of listings. And I might just give you one example. Let's say that I was looking for listings, I'm going to use 20 million, just $20 million and up. And if I search that, there's 48 listings here, buyers and sellers looking over $20 million. But if I was, that's for less than 1 year. If I was to look less than 3 months and do the same search, there's only 17. But I can tell you now, a lot of these other buyers that are past the 90 days, they're actively still looking. So in other words, some of the past listings can be active. Secondly, the past listings can be used to identify people with whom you may wish to do business with. If somebody deals in a certain type of property, maybe the one that they had is not available, but maybe they have another one that is available, so it's an opportunity for networking with people who you might be able to do business with. Thirdly, the buildings are still there even 2 and 3 years later. The people hopefully are still alive 2 and 3 years later. And it's possible that although the circumstances may have changed, that building might even be coming back for sale. Who knows? So the older listings can actually be used to trigger leads, and they have been doing so. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. All right. So let's get started and get going. And if you have a pad and paper and pencil handy, I'm going to suggest that for anyone who's listening to this at a future date, all of the information is current. Even our educational YouTube channel is still available to this day from years back. It still applies to what we're doing today. So this is a good way to kind of get started to get plugged into all the information here. Now I'm going to go back to the very top. And today, of course, we all know that there's a lot of money being made using the internet for real estate. And we've dedicated ourselves over the last 20 years, and I'm going to call it through the school of hard knocks, what makes money and what does not make money. In order to make sure that everyone that listens to this video, even though sometimes our minds are going to be going astray during this time listening here, because I cannot speak as fast as everyone is thinking, I want to show people these testimonials. And the only reason I'm showing this to you is to show you that you are not wasting your time listening to this stuff. I know it's not as attractive as watching like Dancing with the Stars on TV, listening to all this stuff, but this is money-making stuff that if you go through it, you'll see all the people that authenticated transactions that they've had doing deals on an information service, not just a real estate board service. So it's about to open up the whole market to everyone that takes advantage of it, because there's a lot of information out there that you cannot place on a real estate board unless you have a signed listing. So as of today, you are no longer restricted to making money just on a real estate board. You can make money with information, and this goes for everyone in the world, not just in the Greater Toronto area. And you can read through all of these on your own time. In fact, while we're even going through this presentation, you can pull up the testimonials on your handheld device on the mobile app from ICI World. You can go in there and flip through the testimonials as we're going through our presentation today. Now, how to work real estate, have and want exclusive information that generates leads just like you can generate on a real estate board. That's one of the most important things that we want to cover today. And you should have your cameras ready on your phone, because there's going to be a certain spot where you can actually take a picture of the 3 special questions that has helped some of our people make $50,000 literally within 90 days of joining our service. And she's actually in the testimonials. You'll be able to read about it. And I'll actually quote about it as well. So methods that will also help you get more listings, and especially in the case of residential, there's a lot of competition for condos and houses to try to get listings. We're going to show you how you can give action to people before they eventually list it. We all know that 90% of people, FSBOs, eventually list with licensed real estate brokers. And I'm going to show you the 3 most lovely questions that you will get 3 positive answers from any FSBO that you ever talk to again for the rest of your life. Now, I know I'll notice a lot of people, they don't want to work FSBOs in this business. By the way, can you still hear me? Okay, we're having troubles with the audio. Hang on one second. Okay, are we having troubles with the audio?
Yes.
Okay,
You just got cut off.
Gentlemen, I'm going to switch to something else, and I'm going to switch to a phone line here. Let's see if I can do it fairly quickly. If you just hold on.
If you have to step away for a couple minutes, I guess we can mute it for a second.
Yep. If you just
So
hold
this way,
on.
at least, yeah. Is there any button there just to let you know not here? Or
3552. I'm going to get the sound back here in a moment.
it's good now.
Hold on. Hold on, gentlemen.
Mhm.
Okay, gentlemen, can you hear me? We're going to stop the sound. I'll fix it here in a moment. And see if I can just hold on.
There's an echo. Yeah.
One moment. Okay, there. Can you hear me there okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, so sorry about that, but I suspected we might have an issue with the internet, which will fade out from time to time and then come back. So thank you very much, gentlemen, and if there's any ladies, for your patience today. Okay, let's move on here and continue. Okay, now some people wonder, just one moment, and we just covered a way that you can add these widgets to your website. We're going to go through that a little bit more as well, and it really is like having classified ads on your website with one major difference, and that is that you all get the calls. And of course, one lead can make you a lot of money. And then why it's important that you could consider having 2 websites, because they're like billboards. You can actually link them together. And if you're able to have a website that is totally automatic, that updates itself every day, and if it's generating leads and it's only $16.50, then you might want to consider even having a second website. All right. And these mobile websites are the new internet revolution, and it becomes a strategy to have your website on every person's phone that you know about.
So it's $17, $16 per month, right?
That is correct. It's actually, what happens
the domain
is the domain name is extra,
Domain names average between $10 and $16 per year, and the domain name belongs to you. So that someday if you do not want one of our websites, you can just simply point it to another website and there's no interruption of service for you. The websites are free for 1 month and they're totally designed and set up by us to get you started. And then they are totally customizable by you. Any way that HTML works can be made to work on these websites. And there's 1,000 different designs. So we'll go over with you what the options are. But the goal from our point of view, as if you ever do become a member or when you become a member, is to get it up and running, ready to make money. That's our goal, to get it going. And then to do some minor changes to make it unique for you, because this is your office building on the internet designed to help service all your customers. And it can make your job really easy, because when you send people there, they can search 3 major world networks for listings, not just the MLS. MLS is wonderful, it's good. I've served on MLS committees and everybody should have it, but it is not the only way to do business. Now, I'm just going to leave this on the screen for a moment, and if you want, you can take a picture of it and then with your phones, because there's some very, very good apps that we're recommending that you consider putting on all your mobile devices. Evernote.com is a fabulous program, for instance, that can keep track of everything. You can work with an idea, you put the idea on whatever it is that you're trying to work with. It's checklists, it's just all kinds of things, and so functional that it's one of the most used apps in the whole world. I use this other program, KeePass Info, to remember all my passwords. If you've already got something that does it, you don't need it, but that's the one that I happen to use, and it works on all devices. Dropbox, if you don't have it, you should get it. You know, if I had problems with my computer today, I could actually go to another computer, log into Dropbox, and pull up this PowerPoint presentation and continue on speaking with you here today. It can literally keep all your files just stored. It's almost like the cloud. You've heard about the cloud and iCloud and all that stuff. It's similar to that, and it can store basically everything, and you can pull it up on any device. Workspace Macro Pro is kind of fun. It can remember keystrokes. So if let's say you're going to Kijiji and calling people and you want to send them an email, and it's the same email to everybody over and over and over, you can actually have a macro that runs that runs a paragraph 2 or 3, whatever, and just types everything in automatically if you do things. Everyone usually knows that you can make worldwide phone calls absolutely free with some of these services like Magic Jack and Skype and WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a fabulous program. Everybody should get it. It's great for keeping in touch with family, and it's got so many wonderful features. They even have phone calls that you can have family member in Europe, and you talk to them just like you and I are talking right now, and it is absolutely free. The only thing you need is access to the internet for these programs. Instagram, this other program, searchinman.com, it has articles of interest, and it's great for brokers of records and managers of offices and for salespeople to bring up issues and talk about them and learn about them, what brokers are going through in North America, not just in our own area. If you don't have your Find iPhone or Find Your Android set up and ready and know how to use it, someday if you accidentally lose it or it gets stolen, you'll be able to kind of search it. Went after the people, and then the person confronted the person, and there was an altercation. People got injured. In another case, somebody stole the phone. The person got the police. They tracked the person down to a second-floor apartment in a building, and then the police went in, and the fella tried to get rid of the phone by throwing it out the window, but it was too late. The police had already caught him. So those are some of the things. I know it helps me because I've lost my phone from time to time, and I've been able to find my phone as a result of it. Now, speedtest.net, whatever you do, do not do anything else on this program. This program is used by a lot of computer technicians worldwide to measure the speed of their home service. And I'm recommending that there's some minimum speed you should have on your home service. And I'm surprised a lot of brokers don't even have the minimum speed, and they sit there and they're waiting. Well, minimum speeds for anybody would be what I call 1 megabyte upload speed and 5 megabyte download speed. If you want to mark that down, the minimum speed of anybody listening even to this in the future is a 5 megabyte download speed and 1 megabyte upload speed. Now, in my case, I happen to have 10 megabyte upload speed and between 30 and 60 download speed. So that's what I personally have. But as long as you have the minimums, you're okay. And so if you have less than that, there's 3 reasons why. Your internet service provider is your first check. Make sure that you're getting that kind of speed and challenge them and say, listen, these are minimums I should get. And usually, sometimes they'll tweak it right then and there and make it a little bit faster for you. And then if it doesn't really pick up, which it usually does, you can always increase the speed by buying the next level up. And that's one way to kind of do it. But the other problem is you could have a problem with your router if it's really, really old, or with your laptop. If you have a laptop or a computer that's more than 3 years old, it's kind of old, and maybe you need to kind of do that. Resource Center, we have some listed in our for our members in our Resource Center. Snipping tool in Windows, for instance, if you want to capture anything on your screen, what I do is I just type in snippet and then go to snipping tool. You'll see that right on the screen, the snipping tool pops up. And if I want to capture a portion of the screen, I just click on new, and I could just capture this, and then it saves it to a program that you can kind of go file and save as. So that's called a snipping tool that you could use. Snagit is a sophisticated one that will copy things and do all kinds of beautiful things to bring them into PowerPoint, make your presentation beautiful, and you can enter text on top of images and all kinds of great things. 88 things from Google. Let's go and have a quick look, and I'll give you the address from that. You can get these wonderful ideas from Google here, and this is bringing up another PowerPoint from Google. It looks like it's loading up here, but I wanted to get, let me just see what's going to happen. It's kind of working. Oh yes, here we go. Getgoogle.com. Gentlemen, if you want to write that down, getgoogle.com/apptips/tips. I think that will do it. And there's just wonderful, great tips from Google, and it's all coming up. And this will be a whole, do more with Google when you get all these tips to make your technology sort of work for you and your phones a lot better. So the whole world is going to mobile devices. As you know, there's now more mobile devices on the planet Earth than there are people. That means more than 7 billion devices on the planet Earth. So everything is really going every day towards mobile, and you want to start really learning more about your phones. Now, I think what's important about the phones is the information that you bring up on your phones to make money in real estate, and that's what the seminar is about today as well. Now, for real estate apps, etc., the Realtor.com is absolutely essential in Canada, and then there's also ones available in the United States from the National Association of Realtors as well, so that you can be in your car sitting in front of a property and find out how much the property is. There's a sign on a property right across the street that maybe you haven't seen. You can go right to your phone, pull up Realtor.ca, houses near me, and actually pull up the information on that, which can be helpful because if people were looking for a property from, say, 600 to 700, and that property's $1 million, you can just kind of rule it out right then and there instead of keeping their hopes up to want to come back to that particular property. And there's a list of other ones that I'm not going to go through right now, but another list of apps as well. Now, I also happen to be a CCIM, and a lot of people that take our seminars, even though you might be residential, everyone is also seems to be interested in getting into commercial or having the ability to do some limited commercial work, whether it's handling a listing or at the very least doing referrals. And we're going to be showing you how to trigger commercial real estate leads for $1, $2, $10 million properties from your own website. But then when you get an inquiry, you're going to do a referral. For the people who wish to learn some commercial real estate, we're going to recommend a program called CI 101. Now, you can take a picture of this, but I'm also going to take you to the website that you can learn more about commercial real estate. CCIM.com is the one website. I'm going to recommend you can write that down. It's taking its time coming up, but we finally did it. And when you get here, you can learn about this. And I'm going to click on education. And then you're going to see that there's an education overview. And you can click on that and you can find a course. There's our education overview. And then what we're going to be recommending is the CI 101. There it is right there. It goes on all over North America. It just happened at the Toronto Real Estate Board recently. It'll be coming back again. You check with the members of our chapter and you can learn what it's all about. It will literally take the mystery out of commercial real estate. For everyone that has a license to trade in real estate, it will help you learn the before and after tax consequences of investing in any income producing real estate. If you want to sell just even a little bit of commercial real estate or investment real estate, which includes duplexes and triplexes and little apartment buildings or 2 or 3 condos at a time, which seems residential, it's actually investment, commercial, you need to be able to paint a picture and show people a picture of how they make money in real estate, something in dollars and cents that they can take to their accountant and to their family members and double check your assumptions that you made in your analysis. And if they disagree, they can go ahead and change the assumptions and you can change them, and then they change their offer on the properties. So this is things that you can kind of learn from that. The local Toronto Real Estate Board, our Toronto website is ccimcanada.com. And here's an example of it right here. Again, you can go to education, and then you can see the CCIM courses that are coming up, and there they are. And you can see that this one was just conducted. This is an online self-paced program that we now have advertised. It's the first time I've seen that. I've been actually a membership chairman for over 10 years here for the chapter, and I'm a past president. And now the online courses are being offered, and it's just very good. However, a lot of people feel that the classroom instruction is the best because you get to interact with the teacher, interact with all the students, and you actually build lifelong relationships with the people that are in these classes. It's amazing how it goes on from year to year after that. So there's an example of some of the courses that you might want to take, and we're suggesting that you join the chapter. It's about $130 a year, and you can be plugged in to all the courses and upcoming events. There's technology, great networking, you build good business relationships with other people that lead to doing deals, and you can read all about us by looking at the leadership and staff, and feel free to call these people. There's our president this year, Sunny Sharma, there's our past president, and Adam Powadiuk, and then, Adam works with a company that supplies financing for apartment buildings. So you're going to be making some great connections in here. You can see that I'm a director and a past director for many years as well in the chapter, helping it all through. Mike's also very well informed about education in the business as well for the chapter. And so those are some of the people that you can kind of meet in the chapter. Any questions so far, gentlemen?
No.
Nope.
Okay, let's continue on and make good use of your time here. One moment. Okay. Now, saving keystrokes for the rest of your life. I'm going to do that very quickly. You're going to notice that I have a whole bunch of windows open here. Excuse me. And these are the little widgets or shortcuts that we have on our favorites bar that you can add to your phone. So in other words, if I want to go to Google, I just click on it. I do not have to type it. You can save keystrokes the rest of your life. I'm going to click on ICI World. I didn't type it in. I just clicked on it. If I want to go to my calendar, in fact, I'm going to take this opportunity for people to show them my calendar right up here. Anyone that needs further assistance on ICI World, we're exactly like a doctor's office. You click on make an appointment. You can make a 30-minute appointment or 60-minute appointment. You just click on it, and then you'll see that you have any days of the week. You can just kind of click on the day that you're interested in and book a time, click on whenever it is and confirm it, and bingo, put in your email and your phone number, and you will have a time booked with us. Everyone that's starting, we recommend that they have an orientation workshop with us, a minimum of 30 minutes, and we show you how to really kind of get started. But this is called the login, sort of a favorites bar, where you put all your shortcuts all along there. You can put your Gmail and everything on there as well, and it'll save you keystrokes literally the rest of your life. How do you like that idea, gentlemen?
Great.
Yes, good.
Okay, let's move on. All right, now security on the internet. I'm going to recommend that you simply write that down. Security on the internet. I'm going to click on that. And there's something very, very important that people should know. And this also, by the way, is also helpful to people. I'm going to go ahead and go down here. I'm going to click on this one here, interneticelworld.com. There's, you're going to see the phishing and the password test. I'm going to click on it, take the password test, and I'm going to start here, because what we're finding is a lot of people, I'm just going to uncheck the hide button, and I'm going to type in, some people, believe it or not, are using their own name as a password. And you'll notice there's a score here of 10%. And that means that it's so easy to duplicate your password. It's ridiculous. And if you're using it as a bank password, you're in big darn problems, that's for sure. And I'm sure a lot of people here are not doing that. I certainly hope not. But this is to make sure that nobody ever does that. In fact, we recommend that you never keep your bank passwords on your computer at all, because anything and everything on a computer could eventually be compromised. However, you can make it very, very difficult for people by making these passwords harder. And if you notice, if I put in a number into the password, it jumps it to 29%. If I put in, let's say, a percent sign, it jumps it to 51%. And if I put in, let's say, a capital T, it jumps it to 83%. And maybe one more character of, say, a dash gets to 2 dashes, and you're at 100%. So you can make up your own password and get it to 100% very quickly by using this little password tool, and you can double check whether your password is as good or as strong as you want. Now, it's not just the password that you're going to see this with. The other thing that you want to also check is something special called a phishing test, and I'm going to click on the phishing challenge. If people do not know what phishing is, and there's a section down here on in PayPal, where is it get verified? Do you want to know something? They changed their page around. Deal with suspicious activity. I think that's it. And phishing guide, identity theft. These little things that are on this particular page will kind of teach people how to educate yourself against identity theft and also phishing. And I'll go back over that to make it a little easier to kind of get to. But if you don't know what phishing is, you better study it, because it's almost like driving down the street, and if there's a stop sign, if you don't know what the stop sign is, you can get into big trouble. And you've got to know what phishing is. But this is good actually for the whole family. If you actually put it on your television screen from your phone, just hook up your phone to the TV and show this to everybody. Go through the whole thing and discuss it, because other family members may not be aware of all the things that they could be doing to protect themselves. And there's even beautiful videos in there how people have been tricked. And if you learn how they've been tricked, then you can protect yourselves from being tricked. Muting the phone, we don't have to worry about that today because we're all listening in. Sometimes when we do our monthly webinars, we have between 50 and 100 brokers attending. The most we've had, I think, is 125 so far, although we're able to invite a lot more than that. As it gets bigger, I expect more people to be attending. People can mute themselves when they listen in. And then when you want to ask a question, you can unmute yourselves. We usually do that with less than 10 people only, even though we might have 100 to 200 people online eventually. How to mute yourself is very, very helpful. Now, this is the information on myself. So I'm going to suitably introduce myself now so that you know where I'm coming from. I'm a broker the same as yourselves, a salesperson for many years, in my particular case over 40 years. And every day above ground's a great day. And we got into doing this information service back in 1994, even before the Google was invented. It was Alta Vista at the time, and we saw the internet coming. We didn't know what it was going to be doing today. We didn't know that within 3 seconds you can have buyers or sellers on your phone. That's what's happening today. It's taken almost 20 years to get to this level where we've developed the very latest cutting technology that's making it all come together and happen, and it started all 20 years ago. Now, during the 20 years, we've had people making money, we've had successes, we've had failures, we've had people that didn't make money, and we've gone through the school of hard knocks, and we now know why people are making money and why people are not making money, and that's why we have a special pledge that everyone makes money here, and if you don't make money with either within 90 days or at least, at the very least, developing good business relationships that you feel will lead to making money every 90-day period, you need to call us. And then there's just some basic, what we have is a checklist to see whether or not you're taking advantage of internet services. You know, you can have a flat tire in your car. You do not abandon the car. You get it fixed. It's the same thing here. If you're not triggering leads, you make sure you give us a call. So we've kind of been learning this stuff for many years. We speak at engagements. We're doing an online webinar now for an office, which is, we appreciate the opportunity. And we talk about the CCIM, which we've already done. But we also like to talk about the social media. Now, social media today is not something we go into big time. We can do that at another webinar. But basically, everyone should have LinkedIn. If you don't have LinkedIn, this is simply your business card on the internet, and it helps you show and display to people that you belong to maybe the National Association of Realtors or the Canadian Real Estate Association or the Ontario Real Estate Association and the Toronto Real Estate Board. Those are bodies of real estate professionals that have codes of ethics and standards of business conduct, and it's important for new people, and when they're immigrating and coming into your area, they really don't know you. So if they have LinkedIn, and believe me, a lot of them have it, you'll be surprised at how many people are plugged into all of this stuff here into LinkedIn, and they can check out your credentials. They can maybe see your testimonials, what deals you've done, what companies you belong to, what charitable groups you might belong to. And this is part of getting people to warm up enough to call you on the phone. So we suggest LinkedIn is a very important one for you to do. Facebook is something else. A lot of family members don't realize how many people you're really plugged into to market real estate. They don't know you have lists of buyers and beautiful websites with all these things going on. And so if you have Facebook, we're going to suggest that you make sure you've got your website sort of put on in a fan page in your Facebook page, and that's going to help trigger leads. We all talk about how to promote your website, because what good is a website if you have no traffic? You might as well not even have a website. So getting traffic to your website is part of LinkedIn and social media. As a matter of fact, Google will give you a higher relevance in a Google search engine if you have social media on your website. If your website is mobilized, it gives you higher brownie points, so to speak, over other brokers. So those are all things that build towards having a successful use of the internet. And it's realtors with technology that use the technology that are, of course, everyone feels will be successful as time goes on. Twitter and YouTube and these other programs as well. Now, some of our instructors that we have, other than myself, that teach this, have all kindly consented to doing some of these seminars for us, and just to give you an idea of the people that are here. Now, the CIPS designation, it just so happens that I've just taken I'm going for my CIPS. I haven't applied for it yet, but I just passed the courses. Stands for Certified International Property Specialist, and we covered the Europe, we covered the Americas, we covered South America, we covered Asia, and all of the different cultures and what's going on in all these different areas and what they're doing in real estate. And it's a most interesting course that everyone will benefit from and appreciate, and have a good understanding that when people immigrate here as well, and also when you're doing referrals back and forth, and those referrals that go back and forth with CIPS as well, these courses are approximately $100 a day, and there's, I think, 5 courses. It's approximately $500, and then you can apply for your designation. So that's another course that we're going to be suggesting that everyone do. And I've actually personally stepped down from the membership chairman of the CCIM chapter, and maybe working on trying to help get a chapter going in the Greater Toronto area for Canada as well, and that's what we'll be working on going forward. Now, members and testimonials, we have members from all across the spectrum of commercial and residential real estate brokers and salespeople, and we just wanted to show you that. We've shown you some testimonials. You can read all of those basically on your own time. So more and more brokers are getting attuned to what's going on with exclusive information, not just real estate board listings, but iSeveral is also a marketing service for listings as well. And if you just simply think what you would advertise in a newspaper, if somebody said you could advertise free, let's say in the Toronto Star or USA Today for the rest of your life, would you use that service? Well, basically, we're an electronic equivalent of classified ads in a newspaper, but a lot more graphical, instant, and some other advantages as well. Now, real estate provides the highest investment, in my opinion, of any industry on the internet, because one lead can make you tens of thousands of dollars in commissions. And of course, you've seen the testimonials of people doing that. And you've also already experienced, each of you, the benefits of the internet, and that's why we're all exploring this to do even more business. You can actually do business not only in Ontario, but around the world. So if you have people in your home countries or mother countries or other countries, there's a way that you can actually be advertising it here. If you're advertising a property in the United States, in another state, you must include another broker that is in that state locally. You cannot advertise properties in another state or another province without having another broker in that province part of that transaction. That's the deal. You can still do it as long as you sort of get permission. Even though it might be your listing that you started, you get permission from that other broker and work your own split however you want to do it, and then you can both be on the listing. That way is okay as long as there's a local broker in each state or province. The rest of the world is wide open. It's the wild, wild west. So you can be in the Caribbean and Central America, South America, Asia and Europe, etc., and Africa. You can be advertising properties through here right now. This is an important statistic coming up. Three things actually. 92% of people use the internet to search for real estate, so you definitely want to make yourself available. And then secondly, that 50% actually use a mobile website. They're real people, are just on their phones. You see them walking. I saw one walking in a shopping mall. She walked right into a fountain. She was using her phone and didn't even see where she was going. We all know these stories that are coming up. Fortunately, she didn't get hurt. But the point is that people are on their phones all day long. We all know this. And so that's why you want to be mobilized, to make sure that you have a mobilized presence in your sphere of influence. Your sphere of influence is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 500 people that you talk to year in, year out. And it could be people that you attend weddings with. That they're all people in your sphere of influence. The interesting thing is that only about 9% of FSBOs actually sold without an agent. So that means that 91%, and this should give you confidence to go after every single FSBO that's out there, and we're going to be showing you how to do that, because 91% of them are sold by licensed real estate brokers and salespeople like yourself. And we're going to show you how to go after some of those. The Internet World Stats is sometimes people want to know, what is the significance of what's happening? Why are we taking our time out here today, for instance, to, what is this connection? Okay. Oh, they want an opinion survey from one of my service providers. Anyways, we're going to do that later. Analyzing traffic on the internet, you're going to see now, and there's a figure down. Oopsie daisy. Hang on. Make it a little easier here to see. There it is. It looks like it's up to 3.7 billion people are using the internet. These are internet users as of, oh, that figure is just updated. Look at that. It's been about a year, and they've just updated it. As of March 31st, 2017, 3.7. Yeah, somehow they managed to do that. At least it's a figure that they've kind of updated. So get excited, people. Everybody's using the internet. And because I'm doing this particular seminar in Toronto in Canada, Canada has one of the highest penetrations and the highest speeds of the internet. So we have a major advantage to doing real estate, mobile real estate, in Canada, and we're right on top of it. We're right on the cutting edge, leading the way through here on ICI World as well. So the significance is quite substantial of all these statistics that we have here. Now, we do these seminars with no charge to real estate offices. When we do them in real estate boards, and basically similar to what I've been doing up till now, we actually do it more of an educational manner with no selling from ICI World. And yet it's the selling that makes the money, so it's really a shame sometimes that we can't do that. But nevertheless, when we do the education, it still benefits everyone as well. And when we do it, we charge $2,000 for the seminar, and we've done them for various boards. Now, when we do them one-on-one with you and to real estate offices, we actually do them free in return for Michael, as the broker of record, allowing us to do a 6-minute commercial on our services. And if that's all right with you, I'll do that a little later on in the program. Is that okay with you, Michael?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much. So part of it is that on ICI World, we actually have 30,000 haves and wants. Haves are the properties for sale and for lease. They can be listings on a real estate board, but they can also be exclusive pieces of information. And this is where it gets real exciting, that you can be working information, not just listings. On ICI World, 75% of the listings are actually exclusive, not on real estate boards, and we're going to actually be demonstrating that in a moment. Each of you can work this stuff. In fact, every one of you can have 15 pieces of information working for you on ICI World, even though you may or may not have any listings on a real estate board. You can be making money from information, not just listings on a real estate board. We still know it's the best because that way you have good control. You've got people can write an offer. You can get, like 30, 40, 50 people through a property on an open house weekend and have all your offers on Wednesday and do it that way, and that's wonderful. But then there's other opportunities that you can't get signed for one reason or another. We're going to show you how to work that for both commercial and residential. And with the proliferation of the internet, there's more and more residential exclusive opportunities than ever before. Such things as properties coming for sale. And just to give you one short little example of that, I'm going to go to our one website here, and it's going to be the same as if you did it on your phone. And you'll see I can click on search. And this time I'll just do the residential one. And you'll notice that we have something special here called keyword. And one of them is coming for sale. And I'm going to go down on the bottom and search. So literally within 3 seconds, you can have this on your phones. Between 3 and 7 seconds, you can have your information coming up on other people's phones instantly. And you can search them for other people, and you'll see coming soon, coming for sale. These are before they get on real estate boards. Now, what happens is when someone calls you, let's say it's on this particular property right here, when somebody calls you and they want to know the address, you tell them that in this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first. But I should be getting the listing signed in the middle of April or next month. And once I get the listing signed, I will put your name on a list, and you can be one of the first people through the property once I get the listing signed. How does that sound? Interesting? Gentlemen?
Yes, yes.
What do you think of that coming for sale?
Looks good.
I'm just asking for your feedback.
Well, we're seeing that on people's putting up signs.
Yes?
I guess it's a case where if those people putting it up here are in fact really have access to that or not.
Okay, one good way to analyze it is this. I'm going to ask you all a question. Do any of you have a listing that you think you might be getting in the next 1, 2, or 3 months?
Yes.
Okay, and who was that said yes?
Oh, Michael.
Okay, Mike. Can you give me an example of what that might be, Mike? Is it residential or commercial?
Commercial.
Okay, and what kind of property was it, or is it?
Well, say it's an apartment.
It's a little apartment building?
No, it's a bigger apartment building.
Okay, and approximately, may I ask you approximately how much?
Well, it's a case where it's coming up, but we don't have all the information.
The details. But
Yes,
do you have an
that's-
approximate price range or number of units?
Not, well, that's why we like, the thing is, if you sort of send this out, then people will call you, but you don't really have enough information to give them.
But do you have, like, are you ever talking directly to the owner?
Yes.
Okay, so it's possible you can find out, you know, approximately how much it might be and how many units it is.
Yes.
Okay, so I've got a question that you can ask that owner, 3 questions that you can ask that owner directly, and we're going to go through that here momentarily, okay? So let's just hold that thought and that situation, which is a good situation, on what you can ask. Now, what other people are doing is they know about it. In this case, some people know that they're going to be getting the listing because it's a personal client, friend, family member, that kind of thing. So she put it on here because she knows that she's getting that listing. And she put it on as coming for sale. She can actually be triggering leads now, and then once she gets the listing signed, she can call these people back, and if they're still looking for a property, then she can inform them of it once she gets the listing signed. Isn't that interesting? That's, in other words, can you do this on the Toronto Real Estate Board?
No.
No, the answer is no, but you can do it on an information service. That's what we're trying to get at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, and there's an example of some of these other ones, and especially if this is a condo that's coming up in your area, one of the reasons why the public really appreciates and values and respects your knowledge is because you have knowledge of things that are coming for sale. Sometimes when people looking at a property in a particular neighborhood, maybe they don't find exactly what they're looking for, but if they talk to you, they might find out about other properties that are coming for sale. You can put their name on a list, and then when the listing's signed, you can show them right away so that you can be in the first group that kind of gets through that property. Okay, let's move on. So that's how that's used and being used effectively. Assignments, FSBOs, and more. Okay, now ICI World actually has 2 databases. It has a member database and a public database where the public can post information absolutely free. And if you notice when we go and search on ICI World, when I click on search, you'll notice you can search commercial, you can search residential, but you can also search the FSBO area, which I'm going to click on. This is where the public can post information absolutely free. And I'm going to post bring up the information in the GTA where the public has posted information absolutely free. There it is. There's been over 4,000 of them posted by the public. Can you see them?
Yeah.
So, you know, there's $99 million development opportunity, and you'll notice that nobody can click on that particular listing number. You have to be a member of ICI World to access these. Okay? If I was to go back and choose the business category residential, let's just see what comes up. There's some residential opportunities coming up here. Okay, you can see them okay?
Yeah.
Gary, the site,
Yes, sir.
but you say now you do also a lot of residential, but
Yes.
the site is ICI World, so.
Yes, we're going to show that to you now. In fact, what I'll do is I'm going to sort the properties by price, and I'll show them just in the GTA. Would you like to see the GTA listings for residential here?
Sure. What I'm saying is though, the website seems to refer to commercial, industrial.
Well,
but
we
then,
actually started our service for the last over 20 years, commercial, and it was about 2.5 to 3 years ago that we really added residential to the service, and every broker really likes it. And what you see on the screen are all residential buyers and sellers. Do you see them?
Yeah.
These are all. This is a custom built home, $2.8 million. When you click on it, there's the person who's got it. And this is from a builder developer that he's got it, custom built home. So a builder developer can give you permission to advertise it on ICI World. Here's another
commercial
property here. And you'll notice that you can click on virtual tour, and then you can actually start to see beautiful color photos of the homes being advertised on ICI World. You tell me if that isn't beautiful. In other words, you can actually be advertising your properties here on ICI World and link directly to the photos on their website. So we have a way of triggering a lot of leads for you and your website and for your listings, and it all started from this $2 million listing that was on ICI World. It's sort of like classified ads in a newspaper. People come here, they search residential, and maybe they're going to go right to their price range. Maybe they're just around $700,000, and there it is, coming for sale in Brampton, upgraded detached home. And these are all less than 90 days old, so it's possible this one is just coming for sale right this today or the next day, because it was coming for sale. And you'll see some of them sold here. Water's Edge, $679,000, and you'll see them coming for sale. Now this one happens to be MLS. In the case of residential, they're about 50% residential and 50% exclusive.
Do you update the status of the listing if it's sold, not sold?
Yeah, you're the one that does. You're the one that takes responsibility for updating your information, and I'll show you how quickly that's done. When we go to ICI World, these are the two things that you do literally 90% of the time. You're going to search from time to time. When I click on search, you can search commercial, residential, or the FSBOs. But then when you want to add a listing, you click on member login, and you'll see these choices down the left-hand side. Now, if I click on add have want, it brings up a form. And the form says, please remember the 4 ingredients to be included in the subject line. We recommend you put in the location, you put in the type of property, you put in the price. So in your case, it might be GTA, apartment building, and it could be $10 million. Whoopsie daisy, I accidentally, hang on one second. I'm working on this. I could say $10 million, and maybe this one is coming for sale. It could be what you have, Michael. I'm not saying it is, but I'm saying it could be. Are you with me?
yes.
Okay.
Now, you could be triggering leads from buyers. And the first thing they're going to ask you is, where is it? And what you're going to do is make a statement that in this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first. But if you like, I'll put your name on a list. And once I get the listing signed, I'll give you a call back. How does that sound? Now, if it's the case of a home, and you might just want to say Richmond Hill, etc., I'll give you an example of what these listings look like. You simply fill in this form, and then you click on Submit Information. What do they look like? I'm going to click on Latest World Residential here on the left-hand side. These are the latest listings that are coming in. And these are the latest residential. Can you see them, gentlemen, okay there?
Yes.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So, you know, if I was to click on the very first one, we're actually doing this seminar on March the 29th, 2017. There's a listings coming in on March the 29th, 2017. So you can see the listings coming in. And what's this say? Exclusive. It's not on a real estate board. So there's a tremendous amount of business that you can be doing in real estate that is not on real estate boards. We're simply suggesting that you include this service in your marketing plan. The only two things you're going to do is to search from time to time, but you're going to be adding all your opportunities here from time to time. In this case, somebody would simply give them a call, make an appointment, go show the property, and make $13,000 or $20,000. And that shows you how the listings kind of appear. If I go to the next one, the same thing is true there, and you come down here and you'll see the same thing. Okay, so you get an idea of the properties that are coming in. There's another one here. And here's one that's a semi-detached house in Malton for sale, asking $740,000. That may have multiple offers coming in on it. Quinte Island, Quinte West. And we also suggest that you include links like this, all about Quinte West, to help to sell the location of your properties. And that's because there's people from 138 countries coming in here on a regular basis. So when you click on these kinds of things, oops, their link doesn't work. So I'm actually going to give this gentleman a call and find out. It's quintewest.ca. You'll see it down in the bottom left corner. They've actually got the right link, but they didn't put it in properly, so we'll have to help them. Those are some of the material defects that are happening that we have to check over members' listings from time to time, make an appointment if you're not getting calls, and that could be one of the reasons right there. The link is not working in his listing. So we like to show that because this is not a perfect service like a real estate board type service. The members have to look after it, and there's a lot of errors sometimes in some of the listings.
Gary, what about mortgage financing?
Yes, mortgage financing, I'm going to cover that in a moment for you, and the answer is yes. Does anybody there have their mortgage license?
Yes.
Okay, is that you, Mike, again?
Yeah.
Okay, Mike, in your case, you can actually have, and we'll do this special for you, there's a special way that you can actually have a membership for as a mortgage broker. You're going to have 2 logins, one for real estate and one for doing mortgages. Okay? And the mortgage membership works a little bit separate, differently, and I'll explain that to you after, if I may. Okay, we do both commercial and residential. So if somebody wants a condo or a cottage, again, how easy can it be done? People simply go and search. You click on search, you click on residential. If you want a cottage, you can do a keyword search. You do a cottage, you click on search, and you'll see cottage up here. And if you want to sort them by price, you can click on price and then come down here, search the database, and there are cottages sorted by price. Isn't that neat? Okay, so you can see how people can search things in cottage country very nicely. So we're encouraging brokers all over the province, and this is becoming it's like a real estate broker and salespersons association to network real estate information on mobile devices worldwide. It comes up beautifully on all devices worldwide. All right, let's continue on. We're getting towards the bottom half of our session here. Okay, now there's just a tremendous amount of readership going on here. As you see, there's a tremendous amount of pages we have on the internet that are being accessed on a regular basis. We literally have people from over 100 countries coming in here every month, and that's because we've been on the internet for over 20 years and built up a large following. And ICIWorld.com was the first real estate domain name registered on the internet in 1994. And you'll see how we're doing advertising and work with real estate boards, and such as the Mississauga board and the Brampton real estate boards. And maybe one of these days they might start to adopt our service, maybe officially. We'll see in time. Anyways, let's continue on. We do want to invite, especially brokers in Ontario, to attend a Realtor Quest that Toronto Real Estate Board puts on at the Congress Center each year. This year it's May 10th and 11th. This is for the year 2017. Each year it's in approximately May. You got to check each year. We actually have one of the busiest booths at this show because we make a statement that you could have a $30,000 website and it's not as powerful as the ones that we're supplying from ICI World for $16.50. And we'll show you one more example of that in a moment. So we're inviting everyone to come down. Nowhere can you see so many products and services in one day as you can all year long searching around. So yes, come on down. For members of the Toronto Real Estate Board, it's free for you to attend, as I understand it. For people who are not members of the Toronto Real Estate Board, I think it's $60 to attend, $50 to $60 to attend for the day. And we highly recommend it. Make sure you come by our booth and have a see us. We're on Commercial Row in this particular conference. We also advertise on many other publications. These are great publications. We recommend them all. It's like fishing. You know, marketing is a little bit like fishing. You got to kind of put your information in all these major world categories and all the competent services that are out there to make sure you're covering all your bases, because you never know where your next lead might be coming. And we actually have our ads on the front page. Now, the significance of that is that if one person sees this ad from ICI World, they're not paying us money when they come to our service, a customer. What they're doing is looking up listings on ICI World and calling you. You're the one that's making money from these ads. When somebody sees an ad on ICI World, they call you, you go show the property and make $15,000. For all of these ads is there to make you, ladies and gentlemen, money. Okay, we're also on search engines of the world. You know, if we were to type in things, we can do that. Now, I'm not going to go into all of that. I want to get into these widgets for widgets for your website. And I'm going to bring up another sample website that has the widgets on. Let me see if it's here. Okay, I'll bring up another sample website. Again, oopsie daisy, I've got a problem with that particular website. Hold on one second. Actually, what I'm going to do is come down here, and you're going to see that we have make an appointment for assistance or login, all this information. You're going to see a button here called For Members, and I'm going to click on that. And what you're going to see is many sample websites, and that's why I want to show it a little bit different than just showing you one website. I'm going to show you many sample websites, such as you see here coming up. And let me see, it says sample. Mobile leads for your unlimited ads that you can place, trigger leads from your website. ICI World mobile real estate websites. It's number 3 right here. I'm going to click on that. And right here it says see samples. And we're going to click on that. And you're going to see that there's going to be commercial samples and there's going to be residential samples. And we have samples for all different kinds of companies. And samples by real estate company, for instance. I'll just maybe click on that one here for sake of example. We have commercial websites, samples by real estate companies, and samples by geographic areas, so people in British Columbia, United States, they can see all of this stuff as well. And there's some samples from all the different companies that are in the business. I'll click on some of these websites by ICI World, and there's some of them there. And so you have like an independent company in this particular case. And what I'm going to do is I'll click on, I don't know, I'm just going to click on this one here and see what it looks like. And you'll see that we have, if we go down to the very bottom of the page, this particular page is developed by Incom Real Estate. We deal with over 30 website companies out there where we send the links to you. And in her particular case, her home page, she actually, when we get to her home page, you'll see how she's got residential here. I can click on it, and it brings, you can search the Toronto Real Estate Board, but you can also search the residential haves and wants from ICI World. And when you do that, up comes the listings from ICI World on her website, and people can click on any of these buttons, such as you see here. And if somebody's interested in Brampton, they click on it, and bingo, up comes the listing on her page, and it's got all of these listings advertised. That's how fast, quick, and easy it is. I'm going to show another one. Let's show this one, Toronto Commercial Real Estate for you. There's another sample website. This particular one is made by ICI World. And again, you can click on commercial or residential, and you'll notice that if you click on commercial, you've got all these choices on the screen. Power of sales, we've got them all. If you click on Ontario Commercial, another thing you can have, search by keyword, people can come down here and click on power of sales right there and search. How would you like to have power of sales on your website? That's a question.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Isn't that nice? So you'll be able to have nice power of sales on your website as well. Okay, so that just gives you an example of how some of these widgets kind of work for you. And you'll also have the FSBOs as well. Let's see what she's got here for FSBOs. These are for sale by owners coming up from our FSBO section. People can call on these message numbers. Now, this is one of our older widgets. It still works, brings up the listings, but we have another modern one being done as well. So all of these websites, they're being upgraded from time to time. Let's see this other one here. Here's another website that's coming up. And again, residential exclusives, there it is right there. We also set up all these buttons so that if you have a mobile website, you'll have the Toronto Real Estate Board. People will be able to search the Toronto Real Estate Board from your website. And it's chugging away, waiting for the Toronto Real Estate Board to come up. Now that's a function of the Toronto Real Estate Board MLS. You'll see way down here and way up here, it's trying to bring up the listings. There it is. We've got it. So people can search MLS from your websites, the ones that we supply to you. And they can also search, do a property search, and they could search all of the GTA from your website. Now, if somebody calls you on a property out of your market area, you can do a referral. And so you'll see all these beautiful homes start to come up on your website. And when people click on it, what they're going to see is more information with your contact information right behind it. And this one is from Jessette Granston. She's a broker at Sanssouci Executive Real Estate. And you'll see all these beautiful pictures coming up. And so if somebody visits her website and sees one of these listings, her contact information is right here. Now here's the beauty of this website as well. I can make it smaller. Watch this. I'm going to make this smaller, the size of a mobile website. So this is the information that people can actually see on her website. You tell me, wouldn't you like to have homes like this on your website with your contact information right here? Isn't that beautiful? I call this the ultimate in marketing on the internet. Would you agree or disagree?
Yeah, absolutely. Good marketing.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So that shows you the kind of things that we're setting up for everyone on their websites. Okay, so let's just get on to the next part, which will finish off our session for today, and that is how to actually work exclusive information. We're coming to that now. This is your inventory on the internet. Every bit as powerful as having a real listing, because you'll be able to trigger a lead from prospects and clients. Now, to do it in a newspaper, you could do it in a newspaper if you wanted to, but it's too expensive when it costs $300 for an ad and you need a magnifying glass to read it in the classified section of a newspaper. Now, in the past, a lot of brokers haven't done this because there's no control, but there is a way, and I'm going to show it to you within the next 3 minutes. See the testimonials to make sure you know that all this stuff works. You may not have been doing it. You might have been in business for many years, but we've been doing it for literally over 40 years because people have been doing it in real estate since the beginning of the time. And when MLS was first invented in the late 1880s, that's how they did it. You know, if you help me sell my property, I'll help you sell your property, and then you kind of allude to what you have for sale, and you get together, develop a good business relationship, and go from there. Now, in commercial and residential real estate, and we're going to show you now how to follow the RICO guidelines. This service started out of a book that I read called At the Speed of Thought, Business at the Speed of Thought. If you can think something in your mind, and when you think about it, every single listing that goes on a real estate board is really a thought before you put it on the real estate board. So-and-so asked me to come over and sign a listing. That's just a thought. You haven't got anything signed yet. So a lot of information in the business is just a thought. And you can work these thoughts on the internet. And that's as a result of a book that we read by Bill Gates back in the 90s. You can do this with FSBOs, open listings, exclusive listings, builders that want to sell custom new homes, expired listings coming for sale, And a lot of people do not want their property to be placed on a real estate board. Businesses don't want sometimes their restaurant to be known by everybody that it's for sale. It could be bad for business. Some people don't want all the beautiful furnishings in their home, their Van Gogh paintings plastered all over the internet because they just feel more private about what it is that they do. They want you to get a client, and then they don't mind releasing the information to individual clients that are qualified, but sometimes they just don't want it. So there's a lot of uses for exclusive information in the world. There it is, gentlemen. I'm going to leave this here for the next 3 minutes for you so that you can get your mobile phones out and take a picture of this. And the reason you want to take a picture of this is because if you don't ask these 3 questions exactly as they're, it's been time proven and tested to work over the years. And anybody that hasn't made money, they have not asked these 3 questions in a proper fashion. So if you go 90 days and you don't get yourself some exclusive listings on ICI World, you give us a call. And if you don't call us, shame on you. You're losing money for you and your family because it works, and it works wonderfully. Again, read the testimonial so you can see. So the first question, if anybody ever says, I want to sell my property, but I don't want to give you a listing, but I will pay you a commission, you ask them, will you pay me a commission if I bring you a buyer? And most everyone says yes. They all have a problem. They want to get going. They want to get on with their plans. If they want $400,000 for their property, then what you're going to do is you're going to say, if I get you $420,000, do you mind paying me $20,000, and then you got your $400,000? Would that be okay with you? And that's what you're going to try to do. The second thing is you ask them for permission that once I do have a buyer, will you give me a 48-hour exclusive listing to show the property? So a lot of people that don't know this service think that it's, that we're not doing things in a proper fashion, when in actual fact, all our members that we have learned that when you think about it, even though we have 75% exclusive listings, it does not mean that we don't put an exclusive agreement in place first to cover that showing. And so you ask for permission to sign a 48-hour exclusive listing once you have a buyer, because you've got to have something in writing. You should never show a property without having something in writing, whether it's from the seller or whether it's from the buyer. Do you all agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, gentlemen. Appreciate that. The third question is a lot of people never ask. You simply say, may I advertise your property, but I'm going to do it without disclosing the address. Now that's important. If it's a restaurant and you give the address, people know which one it is. So when you advertise, you might just say Mississauga Restaurant making money $350,000, or Mississauga Meadowvale 2-story home, $1.2 million, ground level family room, double car garage overlooking ravine lot. You're not giving the address. As long as you do not give an address, you can network information. Everyone taking their pictures here?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Let's go over this one more time. We've got hundreds of legal things that you all have to know in the business. And this is an issue of conduct, of code of ethics, that a registrant, that's you and me, shall not include anything in an advertisement that can reasonably be used to identify, and that's the key word, identify specific real estate unless the owner of real estate has consented in writing. If you're going to give an address to someone or identify the property, you must have the consent of the owner in writing. You must have a signed listing. But if you do not give the address to someone, then you can advertise it on ICI World, because we treat it as networking information is what it's doing. So when somebody calls you, though, the first thing they're going to do is to ask you for the address. So you make a statement that in this particular case, we have to simply put an agreement in place first. But if it's okay with you, I can show it to you on Saturday. You come to my office, I'll make arrangements for you to see it. And then on the day before your appointment, you have it set up that you can go get yourself a 48-hour exclusive listing agreement to cover your showing. Now, doesn't have to be 48. Some brokers get 5 days in the case of a hotel, or you can get it longer or shorter. And you can have different agreements to advertise. If you go in the Toronto Real Estate Board and turn right, there's a room there that's got exclusive agreements, authorities to advertise, all kinds of different agreements. You should talk to your broker of record about this stuff, about what kind of agreements you can have in place if you want to get other agreements signed. Now, if you have trouble getting an agreement from the owner of the property, who else can you get your agreement from? That's a question to everyone. I just asked, are you still there, everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, if you have trouble getting an agreement signed from the owner to protect you on your commission, who else could you get your agreement from?
Your buyer.
From the buyer is correct. So I would really get ready to start talking to your buyers. And you can say, look, I've got a multi-million-dollar building that I can show you, but we're unable to get an agreement signed by the owner. So if you don't mind to agree to pay me a commission, and a good example is a $2 million building that's, say, $2.1 million. What's the difference if you buy the building for 2.1 and then the owner pays me a $100,000 commission, or you buy it for $2 million and you pay me a $100,000 commission? It's still $2.1 million. Now, if he doesn't want to buy the building for $2 million, he shouldn't even be buying it for $2.1 million, because sooner or later it's going to be there. In other words, he shouldn't even be paying that much for it if he doesn't feel that it's not going to be worth that. Do you all agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that's a way to handle commissions. Now, coming for sale is another thing. Again, people call you on the address. You tell them, in this particular case, you have to put an agreement in place first, and then once I get the listing signed, I'll call you back. That means you can be generating leads for things in anticipation of getting your listing. Here's some examples. Now, the first one, an example of an ad that you can run on ICI World, is really a piece of information, is really what it is. It's Mississauga Restaurant, $350,000 making money. Does that give that restaurant away? Can you tell which one it is?
No.
The answer no is correct. If I said it was at the corner of Huron-Ontario and Dundas Street, could you figure out which restaurant it is?
Yes.
The answer is yes. Even if there were 3 restaurants there, in less than 30 minutes, you could talk to all 3 owners and find out which one it is. In the case of that, where the commission on businesses can be 10%, that's $35,000 that if you give out too much information to someone, they can end up going direct to the owner, and you would never know the difference, because the owner would simply say, I managed to sell it myself. And it could have been you that actually triggered the lead. So you can see other examples of properties you cannot figure out the address. That's ways to advertise it. Now, if I said you had an Esso gas station in Lindsay, does that give it away?
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Okay, so we have sort of. So basically, I don't know would be an answer. Is that a fair statement?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to suggest that that does give it away because there's only one Esso gas station in Lindsay. So how would you advertise this? You might simply say branded gas station 1 hour to Toronto. How does that sound?
Yep.
Perfect.
Okay, how about this next one? Brantford, $30 million shopping center. Does that give it away?
Could be.
Could be, because there's only one. In other words, it's easy to figure out. So in other words, you have to be very, very careful with your information. I'm suggesting to you that this is our confidential information in a real estate business for real estate practitioners. The same way doctors have confidential information, lawyers have confidential information, accountants, etc. This is part of our confidential information when we are networking exclusive information. You have to be very professional about this, how you handle this kind of information. The last one in Peterborough, there could be a lot of plazas for 500,000, so that's not necessarily the case there. Okay, so to wrap it up, we got the mobile websites, the new internet revolution. We're recommending that you have one of these because it's mobile and there's 3 major world networks on it. We support all websites, no matter what website company you may have now. We simply send you the instructions when you join, and you simply forward the instructions to your website designer. It can all be done within an hour. And then once they install it on your website, you give us a call back. We like to have a follow-up appointment, much like a doctor might do an operation. He likes to have a follow-up appointment to make sure that everything's okay. We do find that there's some adjustments have to be done from time to time.
So
Let me
Gary,
ask
just
you a question on this website as well.
Okay.
If you were to get the listings, the links that you're going to provide that go on the site, do
Yes.
they cover anything? Do they just cover the site for your ICI World, or does that have listing from MLS as well, or any other?
It has the Toronto Real Estate Board if you're in Toronto, or any place. It could be, you could be in Florida from Orange County. You can get the IDX link from your board. In the case of Orange County in Florida, it costs, I think, $40 a month to get the IDX link so that people can search the MLS from your website. In the case of the Toronto Real Estate Board, it is included free in your membership. Now, some people have charged, they've told me, some brokers, they have had people charge them $800 to install the IDX link on their own website. We actually install that for you, included in your membership on ICI World. And I'm going to come up with what the membership on ICI World, we have a nice special for you coming up here.
sorry, Gary, just one question. Your 1650, is that for your website or is that the widgets?
Okay, let's cover, let's do the little commercial right now, if I may.
Yes.
ICI World, hang on one second here. Let me just pop this open here. And I'm going to go up here. When you go to ICI World, and you can do this after we're through, if you're so inclined, we're going to invite you to. You go to this Join Today up here. You see that?
Yeah.
And when you click on it, and you're going to see another page come up. Hang on. Here it comes. Come on now. Getting a little sluggish. There's about 100 million people getting on the internet on the West Coast, right from San Diego all the way up to Vancouver and San Jose and San Francisco and Los Angeles. And you'll see that we've got this beautiful image, which I just really, really like because it shows the mobile nature of dealing in business in the world today, and especially in real estate. You'll see that our membership is $319 yearly, or you can join for $40 per month. Now, that gives you the unlimited ads and gives you the widgets for your website. Now,
How long more is the actual webinar?
this
after
webinar
this?
today?
Yes. Is it
Actually,
almost done, or
about 5 more minutes.
5 more minutes? Okay.
Okay. And you'll see down here there's something called corporate. So this is a corporate presentation for you today. So you can actually, each of you can go to ICIWorld.com and you can click on corporate. We're giving you the authority to do so. And you'll notice you can join for $240 for 12 months. Do you see that?
Yep.
Okay, so you can just come right online and join for $240 for 12 months. You got that?
Yeah.
Now, if you do that today, we add a little extra special on for you that's part of sometimes special when you've actually listened to the webinar. And we're going to add 6 months onto your membership, but you have to trust me and take my word for it that I'm going to add it on for you.
Yeah.
So in other words, by joining today, you can get $240 for basically 18 months. Are you with me? So when you come here, you simply click on Canada, and then you click on this one here that says Join Now. And you've put in your member identifier, you fill in this form, which is just your email address. So in my case, if it was, if I made up my own email address, this right there, make up a password, and then just type in your name. The rest of this is just your business card information is all it is. It's just like handing us a business card. That's
So
it.
Gary, I'm already a member, and I think
Yes, and we can talk about your membership. I don't know if you've ever had a one-time special, Michael. I'll look that up, and if you haven't, I will also extend it for you.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Okay.
I got it at the Realty Quest.
Oh, if you got the one-time special, the one-time special is for one broker, one salesperson only per lifetime. So, but there is something else special that I want everyone to know about. I'm going to go back up here, and I'm just going to back up, and you should all know about this. We have something special here that says sponsorship program. Do you see that on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to click on that. And the sponsorship program is basically the more members, the more opportunities, and it keeps the price of the network down. Because what we do, in a nutshell, when you sponsor a new member during your membership, your renewal rate can become $240. So instead of it being $319 next year or in 18 months if you join today, your renewal rate can be reduced to $240. Are you with me? Okay, so renewal rates can be reduced by referring someone. Now the nice thing about it is the new person can actually join for $240 for 1 year, not 18 months, but for 1 year. And so the only way they can get it for $240 is if they mention your name. The day that they join, you will also get an email letting you know that someone joined using your name to join, and you'll get credit. Now, some brokers ask me, salespeople, what happens if I get you more than one, Gary? Well, for each additional person, we will actually add 3 months onto your membership for you for each person that joins, so that theoretically, if you got 4 people joining, you can actually get a year free. Okay, and this explains it. All right, let's just finish off here. We're actually finished today's session. Hang on 1 second. I'll skip through the rest of these. Optimizing your opportunities. By the way, when you do have a website, for the ones that are going to get the website, you must log into your website a minimum of once a month. That's it. You don't have to be on your website every day. The only 2 things you do on ICI World is, one is you're going to search information. The other thing is you're going to add information both time to time. That's it. And the other thing is you're going to be promoting your website from time to time. But you must log into your website a minimum of once a month. Okay. And you promote your website with a passion. Now, how do you learn how to promote your website? Well, what you do is you can go to ICIWorld.com, and we have something special that comes once a month. When you come to ICIWorld.com, you come down here to For Members, and I'm going to click on it. And I go down the page a little bit. You'll see a YouTube channel. You'll see Register for the Webinar, and these are monthly webinars. You simply register for the webinars. They come once a month, how to promote your website. The other thing you could do is if you click on the YouTube channel, you'll see that we have over a couple of hundred, I don't know how many hundred videos that we have made. Just take in the last 3-4 videos. That'll bring you up to speed on what's really going on out here. And so you just click on one of these videos and you can listen how to promote your website. All these different videos are here to help you, everyone in the industry, make money. The other thing that you should know is that when you go to this For Members page, we have a nice, if I click back on For Members again and go down and put YouTube here, training and support for executive members. Yes, you can go to the top here and click on Make an Appointment, and 10 minutes before your time, you just get into the workshop, just like we're talking here today. But the other thing you can do is you can click on this Training and Support for Executive Members. And there it is there. And you'll see that it's got little videos here on how you can do various things on ICI World. Orientation program, what it's all about, and also all of these things here. How to add a have listing, how to add, and there's a review of the 3 questions. You click on that and then learn how to work exclusive information. There it is there. you simply fill in your name here, and I'm just going to just do this real quick. Oopsie daisy, hang on. The letter E is not working on my keyboard, and I've ordered a keyboard. Hang on one second. Register. And you'll see how you can be reviewing these questions very, very easily in a video. Okay?
Yep.
That completes our session for today. Let me just see if I can get down to the very bottom now. If it was on each of your computers, there it is. That's our pledge that everyone should know about. This is your measurement tool, by the way, to make sure that you're making money on ICI World. Like we say, we're like a real estate broker type association of real estate brokers and salespeople, and anyone that's not making money, we really like them to give us a call and give us a chance to kind of help you. What do you do now? Well, you can take advantage of the seminar special, and you simply click on that corporate that we talked about, and then get into a session and just call and ask us to upgrade your membership to an extra 6 months, and we will be doing that for you. That completes our session for today, and if there's any questions, I'm happy to stay on here a touch longer and answer questions.
Nope. Okay, that's very good, Gary. Thank you. And
Okay.
I'll see you at the realty class.
Okay, that sounds fine.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so listen, gentlemen, you all have a great day, and I'm available here. I'll leave my contact information on the screen, so if you want to take it, hang on one second. I'll just bring that up here, and there's our contact information on the screen.
Great. Okay, thank you.
Okay, you all have a great day. We're always here for you.
All right, thanks.
Okay, bye-bye now.